turning on the mic. And hello guys, I am Miguel Salvador. I'm going to be the host for this show, and I am here with Fernando Martelli. He's from Viking
guys.
Forge. He's the guy that has done all these great 3D prints that we're going to show you today. So, how are we doing, Fernando?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I'm really good.
Are you ready for...
It's a pleasure to be in here.
It's great to know. Are you ready for these? I just realized I have to slightly change the camera in here because we are not even... No, it's better. Okay, cool. So tell me, what do you think we are going to do today?
I heard something about unboxing a new printer that Refurbo is selling. And I have the pleasure to test this printer personally, and it's a really good printer for everyone that needs to, that want to start on 3D printing.
Great. So let's get into the first thing. Let's get our cool transition in here. So the first thing we are gonna learn is how to build our 3D printer. And you guys don't see us now, but do not panic because we just have to set up both. That's our camera ready, and we can leave it to Fernando. But the first thing we're gonna change is that apparently, as far as you've told me, the first thing that we have to do is to get our 3D models onto the computer. Can you show us that a little bit, please?
Yes. So you can use any website you have, Thingiverse, Cults 3D, or you can design your own models as well. First thing you can do is download your model, the model you want, and this printer comes with a slicer. You need to upload this STL file into the slicer, and then use the presettings, all the presets you have in there for different materials like PLA, ABS, PTG, and with this you can start the printing. That's really straightforward.
Great. So on here, do you want to tell us about the USB that we get when we open the 3D printer?
So the EasyThreed printer comes with this USB with few free samples, but you can and the slicer as well, but you can slice any model you want. So it's really straightforward. It's plug this into your computer, laptop, open the slicer that comes inside. So if you take a look inside the USB, you have the EasyWare. So just double click in there and you have the slicer.
So if you click on that one, we're gonna open that one?
Yes, exactly. And then with this, you need to choose what type of printer you're using. In our case, it's the X1/X2.
Just a quick thing, just don't forget guys, because when you open the program, it's on a different language, so you'll have to change up here in English, and then we turn to the next thing.
Only if you know Chinese.
But you never know.
You never know. So so that's the slicer for the EasyThreed printer. It's really straightforward. You can just drag and drop, the files you downloaded. So you can download from Thingiverse or any other websites. Just drag and drop into the slicer and then slice into the USB stick.
The other option is you can click on here, so we can go on that. So you can open that from there as well if you don't want to drag the file. And it's now loading. So this is the time where we have to let the computer do some thinking. And eventually we will have our great 3D model in here. Eventually.
At some point.
In the meantime, would you like, I think while this is loading, would you like to start opening the 3D printer and set it up while we're getting this part ready? You can now
take the printer.
And it is this one.
So that's, like you guys can see, that's the EasyThreed printer, X2.
And now, I haven't forgot you guys from Instagram, so I will help out. And I will now change the camera here to
Yeah.
our great
So
instructor.
inside the box you have a small bag of tools, the USB stick, some filament, some sample, the filament, the spool holders, the USB cable, that's another part of the spool holder, and you have the printer. This printer is really easy to build. It's literally 2 screws. So I'm gonna take it. So that's a charger as well. Power. Take this. Okay, that's the EasyThreed X2. So on the bag of tools, you have 2 longer screws with a little screwdriver. And you have 2 nuts in here as well. There it is for the Instagram. So how to build the EasyThreed X2. So you have in here the extruder, it's upside down. And here you have the base and the control. So really straightforward. Take the small cable, pass through the hole on the side and slide the printer. So remember that 2 long screws, you need 1 on each side. One here. And 1 on the other side. Right. The 2 nuts to hold everything together. And you can use the small screwdriver to tighten everything.
You also have another camera pointed at you now.
Okay,
That one.
cool.
So
Hi.
both.
Oh, I forgot my makeup. Sorry, guys. Okay, so everything sturdy. Remember that small cable, you guys. So you just connect into the small slot, and that's it. The printer is built. So here we have the power supply. So let's connect. In there. And you can connect on the side of the printer. Okay. So like I say, this printer is really straightforward. Here you have the spool holder for the filament. You can attach in front of your printer. And with a small screwdriver, just tight. And you have this bar to hold the filament. Okay, everything in place, we can start to load the filament. If you go into the small screen you have in here,
So we're going to be now showing you guys how to get the 3D model and then get it onto the 3D printer, ready to start printing. Do you want to tell us about that, Fernando?
yeah, so you can find any designs, any models on free websites like Thingiverse or Codes3D. Download them and just go straight to the slicer, the 3D printer slicer that comes inside this pen drive. So Miguel gonna show you guys where is the slicer on the pen drive.
Yep.
So you have in there EasyWare slicer. You just double click on them, so that's gonna open the slicer. Just drag and drop your file inside the slicer, and you have like a custom settings over there, and you have like two types of settings: a fast, just one click settings, and a custom settings. One key settings is basically one click and slice into your pen drive. You have a fast, standard, and optimized. If you want something fast that don't need a lot of details, just click on fast, slice, and save on SD card. That's it. And from the SD card goes to the printer.
Okay, you have another option that you can also import the file. You can go on here and then you left click and then you choose the model that you want. In this case, we've already imported it onto here. So as you can see, and then we do what Fernando has tells us. So the next step is what is it?
Okay, the next step, when you have your file sliced on your pen drive, just go to the printer.
Okay, let's get to the next step. And let's get Fernando to show up as well.
Hi. So on the printer, you just preheat for the filament. So you have an option preheat filament in out. So filament in. So the nozzle will start to heat until reaches like a 200 degrees, and when reach 200 degrees the filament will start to load. Just make sure the tip of your filament is straight. So with this you avoid like clogs and blocks when it's loading the filament. Just insert the filament on the top and wait for the extruder heats. When the extruder reaches like a 200 degrees, the filament automatically will start to load. And you can take your SD card, insert on the side of the printer, just on the side, and with this you can, let's wait a bit more just to heat up, and you can just start to print straightforward from the SD card. Really easy.
Do you want to just tell us like how do you do it on our tiny joystick? How do you get the printer to?
Yeah, so when the nozzle reaches 200 degrees and it starts to load the filament, like now, here, you have some filament coming through, right? And then you can.
Do you want to just show the screen to
Yeah.
the?
Let me see if I can.
Yes, you can.
There it is. 3D printer ready. Print from SD card. And then select your file. And that's it. Just wait to start print.
Okay, so now we will be seeing how the printer will now start printing. We just have to give it some time to heat up. In the meantime, we can start to go into the next thing, which is, are you ready guys? Let's just get the camera here so we are back into the same scene. And the next thing is the story of Viking Forge. So the first thing I can ask you is, tell us, why did you start 3D printing?
So I started 3D printing because on my actual job, when I started, they had like one printer just stuck on the corner, stopped over there, and I just with curiosity, I asked for one guy here, oh, what is that? Oh, that's a 3D printer, but it's broken. Oh, it's broken? Yeah, okay. Can I take a look? Oh, yeah, you can take a look. I open the printer and take a look on few tutorials on internet and forums, and I fix the printer. And then I start to print something. When I start to print something, and then that was amazing. That was amazing. I think one of my first prints was like a benchy, the normal, who knows the 3D printing knows about benchy. It's like a benchmark for the 3D printing.
Oh, awesome.
And that's my first 3D print ever. And I say, whoa, that's amazing. I can print everything. And then basically, that's the beginning of my nightmare.
And why did you choose the name Viking Forge?
So the Viking Forge, it's because I love all the Nordic and all the Vikings history, and I'm just love everything about Nordic history, and I build things. I love to build things. I love to craft stuff, and I say, why not Viking and Forge? Let's mix them together.
Might as well.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Now on to the next question.
Print. Oh, I don't have a favorite print because I love all my prints. For who is in this hobby already, I think they're gonna know this term. It's pile of shame. So my pile of shame is huge. I have, I think now, almost 1,000 minis printed, no paint. So I'm just keep printing. My printers, they're running but basically 7 days, 24 hours. And I love all my miniatures. I have a few ones that I just leave inside my room like a display because I love them. But if you guys can take a look on my Instagram, I have few ones in there that I'm really proud of them. And I think one I am really proud is this Reboot Gilliman from Warhammer. So you guys can have a quick close look on my Instagram. I took like 2 to 3 weeks to paint this guy, and I think, to be honest, it's my best job for now.
We actually have posted that on Instagram and on Facebook on Monday, so we have a picture of this. I'm now showing it on the screen on Facebook, so we're now looking onto Viking Forge's Instagram, so we can have a look in here. And this one, I must say, it's a very, very good one. And just the first question here is like, how long did it take you to get all these details in here, like the whites to separate the blues from the yellows in here? It's must have taken quite some time.
Yeah, like I say, this miniature from the beginning to the end, I took like almost 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks to finish everything. Because I think that's the mini with most detailed I ever painted. And you have, all who paint this mini knows that's a masterpiece. And actually I think on the last week I'm starting to print like rats. For who knows, the hobby, and knows like Warhammer world. No, the Skavens. Skavens is a clan, it's a rat clan. So I'm just printing and painting rats for like a week now. Yeah, my house is full of rats. So it's something that when you start, you can't stop. That's the problem with 3D printing, because the possibilities are endless. That's the thing. When you make your first successful print, you say, oh my god, I can print everything. Sometimes I'm just came home, sit on my sofa and start to look, okay, what I can improve in my home. Oh, a doorstop, let's print. Oh, a handle, let's print. Oh, a hook, let's print. That's the funny thing about 3D printing. Everything you can imagine, you can print.
Awesome. This is answered. I gotta say, I couldn't have picked a better first, basically, guest for our show. I couldn't have chosen a better one. Thank you so much for explaining us that. The next question I have for you is, what was the most challenging print they've done?
The most challenging.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. The most challenging print. Right. First, the most challenging print I ever made. I don't have a picture on Instagram yet because it's still in progress. So you guys can see it's a huge project I'm building, and it's a life-size robot. It's a life-size robot. So it's it's open source 3D printing. You can take a look on inmove.fr. So you have this guy Garrett Levine, if I'm not wrong. He made this life-size robot and share with everyone. So if you have a 3D printer, you can start your own life-size robot, fully functional. So I'm still for now, I think almost 6 months printing parts for this robot.
Damn.
I have, yeah,
Damn.
I have like 4 bags of 3D printing home, 3D printed parts, and I'm even start to build, the robot, and I think I am in half. That's
Wow.
I think the most challenging thing for me.
Are you filming step by step? Are you sort of like vlogging your process throughout the whole thing?
Probably I will. I'm gonna make like a daily vlog, but first I need to take all the parts, all the electronics, all the 3D printed parts, because that's gonna take time and money, which is which is the most point. Yeah, I have. I am in like 45% of the process, because now I'm just taking all the electronics and everything. But I will start to build. I think I have enough to build the torso.
So I'm gonna
So
leave
the torso and the
for
head. I'm
everything,
gonna make a video, just
things
assembling
from
everything
AliExpress,
and
all the
building my own
3D prints,
life-size
everything
robot,
on
which
the
is
link,
amazing, really.
flat, like
That is
smash it.
a really
And,
good project.
that's a really,
I do
really
recommend,
useful
even if you
tool,
just get
even
your
when you
camera
build
and
the
just
diorama.
filming,
I love
like
to build
today is
dioramas.
day
I'm gonna leave the link on
541
my
and
Instagram
I
in the
am
description.
now like
And,
with a
I have
beard
few
with the
dioramas
size
I build
of,
over there.
I don't know, an
So you guys
entire
can
ocean or
please,
something.
Cloak,
feel free to
And,
share,
30.
like, and
We can see all
So,
your
yeah,
hardships
with
and
this
struggles
pack, I
throughout your journey
paid, like,
and see how you got to that. It's always
like
a
I remember, I
suggestion.
paid like £6.
You know, a project
plus
that takes
VAT
so
and
long to
everything,
do,
all the
it's
shipping
always
costs.
worth to
The shipping
be
is free.
able to
Normally
see
I
what was the
I
entire
take
for,
things from AliExpress
basically
for
effort
with
they took you
free shipping.
to get there.
But this
that
thing
is
cost me like,
something that I'm sure
in total,
everyone
I
on
think
Facebook and
£9,
Instagram are
something like
looking
that.
forward to see.
and came with a
Is
machine
there a model?
and
3D
4
model,
types of
anything that you'd like to
static
print,
grasses.
a project
So
that you'd like
I think
to do in
this
the
is
future
light,
they haven't done.
yeah,
Yes,
light green,
everything.
yellow.
No, I'm joking, but
Let me show
I
closer.
already
So
started.
yellow grass,
It's not,
light green.
it's a
grass.
nice project I'm building.
This
I'm
one is
building
like a
a
mixed grass. You have
Warlord
yellow, you have
Titan,
dark,
full size,
green,
big size,
light
so
green.
which
It's
is
a mixed grass.
like a model.
And this is
like
dark
this.
grass.
It's not
dark green.
this model. If you
And,
type on Google Warlord
silver.
Titan, you're gonna see it's like a big
probably to
robot,
clean,
like this
the
war machine.
here
But I'm
inside
building
and-
one in
Yeah,
almost
that's
1.2
really useful
meters
tool.
high.
And I paid really cheap. So
Damn.
Everything
I think
3D
it was
printed.
£90. I'm gonna leave.
So
like I say, I'm gonna leave
yeah,
all the
that's a
links
really exciting
for
project. I
all
think
the
that's
products I bought from
almost
AliExpress
50
on the
parts
description
to
below.
print.
So,
But
okay,
each part,
next one.
parts like this, which is
Okay.
tiny,
These
tiny,
three
tiny
probably I
parts,
know what
like
it is.
1 millimeter
So,
parts.
Now it's
I'm
time for the-
rescaling in
for the fun.
500%. That's gonna be
Let's
like,
open this one first.
30 centimeters. Yeah, I'm gonna print everything, paint everything, and leave on my garden. That's the
Okay.
idea. Like a
Oh,
bird
nice.
box.
This one came a box inside the box.
Man, that's
So-
really something else.
Okay, see?
We're gonna start
That's
having a look
model.
at your Instagram because the first thing I have to say, there are a
Warning.
few things, but this is one of the things I personally told
Okay.
Fernando the first time I saw this on his Facebook,
Yeah.
which I know that you have it in here, and actually you have a more finished
Ta-da.
version, which is right
right.
in here. And I have to
This
say this,
miniature
I'm
is
someone
one
that
dwarf,
also likes to go
like a
into art
battle
shops and
dwarf.
buy paints, acrylic paints and things like that, different to
I
Fernando.
found on AliExpress.
But this is something that you see in a shop.
okay.
This is not something you see in someone's workshop.
So,
Tell us how long did it
that's the
take you
guy.
to get to this enormous collection of...
Yeah. You know, the thing is, I built a shed in my garden only for my hobby. Only for my hobby. So I have a 12 by 12 shed, and it's dedicated only for my hobby. I built everything from scratch. That's one thing I should move. I should film, but I don't.
Dwarf.
But
Came
maybe
with,
I can do like a daily vlog.
a base.
You know how to build your own hobby shed, which is really nice.
Yeah.
I built
So you have the
few,
probably
few
this
things
was
inside my shed.
printed.
Is all
I don't know if it's
refurbished things,
printed
all
in
scrap
resin. I
things
can
that you
see
know you can
few,
find them basically on bin. I built inside my shed. And
over here.
to reach this
And
point of
I think it is
you know,
like a thermoplastic
paints and
maybe.
everything, it's because when
Yeah.
you start to paint,
So you still have the support
you know,
over
miniatures,
here,
you
that
say,
see.
okay, oh yeah, I'm gonna start painting this
Yeah.
this rat.
Uh,
Oh,
the
okay,
blue.
I need
Yeah.
this.
You can see the
You know, I need the
supports.
brown.
You
Okay.
probably need
Oh,
to
but
snap
it's
this.
yeah,
But,
this brown is
okay.
slightly
On the
different. Let's go to
miniature,
the store.
Yeah,
You go
can
to the
see
store
you
and
have
buy
supports
another
here
brown.
on the fix.
And then,
One
oh yeah, now I need like a green for
And
this effect. I have a green. Oh no, I
think
don't have a
that's
green.
it.
Store again.
Yeah.
And with this, you
Uh,
just keep
what
buying,
else?
buying, and then
And
you're
then
watching. You
came
know,
with this.
I'm just watching other, you know, YouTuber
Okay.
videos, and they say, yeah, you need this color, and this color, and then I am with a notepad.
all
Okay,
the
this color, this color, this color. In the end, I have a
So,
list of 50 colors to buy in
This
the
guy
store.
have
So also, I bought a
is
few
kind of
starter kits, like one of my
strange.
favorite paints,
Okay, that's fine.
Vallejo colors.
so two tools.
So
one
the Vallejo
hammer and
colors,
one
they have
axe.
a really strong pigment, and they have like a really nice finish.
You know why my camera is not
So I
focused.
bought like a
I'm
two
gonna
starter
leave some
kits,
pictures on my
one with
Instagram as
like
well,
a
you
base
guys can take a look.
colors and one with
So it's one
different
axe.
colors. And also I bought another one for airbrush. You know, I use a lot of airbrush.
Little bit.
But the thing is,
One
I
axe
know
and one
even
hammer.
today I still
I
have
think it's for the
paints to buy.
backpack over
Because
here.
oh yeah, I need a different
And-
color.
oh yeah, it's for
I have
the
this color. No, I
two
have a similar one, but
arms.
it's not good enough. Let's buy another one.
It's like a
That's the
techie
problem. You
gunner.
have a range of colors,
gunner,
you know,
dwarf
immense
techie
range of colors.
So I think this.
And
See, I need to take the
it's never
supports
enough.
off. This
That's
one
the
came
thing.
with support as
Never
well.
is enough.
This little piece here is a support.
The
And here
next
is one of the
one
support.
is
So these two
another
arms
thing
go
that I also noticed. I haven't
one
told you
here,
that personally, but
and
I
the
guess
other
tell
one
you now.
here.
So, first question is how? How did you manage to get it like this? This is something
And
that I
you have
find
the
very
two arms
interesting. You
with
can
one
carry
with
on.
the axe
Sorry
here
guys,
and
and
one with
I
the
am here,
hammer.
but I also want
Yeah,
to
it's
check
a-
everything. So
I
please,
think
we have the siren
28
showing the
millimeters
So,
miniature.
when you have
Yeah, very
loads
cool.
of paint,
So the level
you know,
of detail
miniatures to
is-
paint, I
it's-
like to
yeah,
just keep,
it's
you know,
acceptable,
collecting
it's
them,
nice.
collecting, and
So
when I
you
have a
can
certain
reach this
amount, I
level
just
in,
paint
resin
all of
printer,
them
but
at the same
take
time.
quite
At
a while.
least prime all of them.
Yeah, that's a
Because most of
good-
these
good
minis, you
first
need to
miniature.
prime them to have, you
So,
know, a
next
decent, a nice finish when you paint. I just
Here,
keep
here.
buying, collecting,
Yeah.
and I use like a metal
Deep enough.
bar I have in home. This metal bar you guys can see on my
Okey-dokey.
Instagram.
Next.
I use double tape on all the three,
Okay,
you know,
this
three
is
pieces of double tape and glue
this
all
have-
of them.
Okay, they
And in the end, I just take a can of spray and spray all of them. And that's an easy way to prime all your minis. In the end, I finish with all my minis primed. And I say you save, you know, with this also you can save a lot of paint. Because if you take only one mini and take your can of spray and spray, okay, one mini. Next one, spray. It's much easier if you have like a stick or whatever with all your minis and just spray everything you have. That's another technique.
Awesome. Thank you so much for letting us know. Like, this is because like I remember seeing a lot of pictures online, and then there's on Japan specifically. For those of you that don't know, there's something called Gundam, which are like robots, massive
yeah.
robots.
Gundam is awesome.
And there's people that have these things on their gardens, and I look at this, and that was the thing I actually remember, because you have just such a massive amount of figures all together. And I actually personally I only started knowing more about 3D printing thanks to Fernando. and I can sort of tell just how much each one of them took to get printed, and all of them in the same place. It's something quite crazy.
Also, that's my shed. I built, inside of that shed. I'm gonna take a picture inside my shed when I tied first, and that's my shed. I have that shed dedicated only for my miniatures, and some of my hull, which my miss doesn't like, but is what it is.
Awesome. The next one is, I think we can talk a little bit about your YouTube in a bit, but there are a few ones that I mean, obviously the Warhammer is just beyond. You've already shown us. I personally love this one. You must have taken I mean, I will ask you, like, how long did it take you to paint something like this?
It's hard to say, but few miniatures I take like a week, few ones 2 weeks, and few ones I can paint in hours. It depends. The thing is, you need to just keep improving yourself when you start to paint your miniatures, when you start in this. And today I'm able to print and paint a miniature in a day. That's it. But if when you really want the nice detail, you're gonna take time. Doesn't really matter. I have friends on Instagram. They have a really, really amazing miniatures, and they're painting for almost 6 months. The same miniature. They keep posting and posting and posting uploads from the miniature, and but the miniature looks amazing. That's the thing. I'm far away from that level, but I'm trying to.
I have to say though, and I know what you mean, because not in the 3D printing section. I mean, you can connect to it, but like, I'm personally a big fan of cosplay, which is sort of like fancy dressing guys. And 3D printing is something that's not right now. It's already been going on for a few years, but it has extremely connected so well with cosplay, because there's so many props and swords and things like that that would take so much more time, where if you 3D print it, it'll just be so much easier to get that effect. And I'm sort of aware of exactly what you're telling me, the shading, getting the rustness and all that. And this leads and segues into the picture that I have here off on Fernando's Instagram, which is the one of Wally. You got this rustness sort of thing in here, so you do have some effect in here. Do you want to tell us a bit how you got to that?
That's just a technique I use it with a sponge. You can have a sponge, or even another technique we call dry brushing, which you just put a small amount of paint on your brush, dry a bit, and then where you need weathering, you just keep painting slightly. Or you can use a sponge, just a little bit of paint, and then with a small sponge just keep making the aging on your miniature. And that's you have plenty of techniques, like a weathering techniques. You can use paints like Citadel Nihilac Oxide. So this paint basically transform when you have like a copper part, transform it like when you have like green effect on old copper, you can use this. Or even you can use like a brown paint to make the weather. And use your imagination. That's what you need.
And how long does effects like this take you in general?
It's not quite long, depending on the mini. If you want a mini with a really nice detail, that's gonna take long. If you need something like quickly or something big, that can take like half an hour to do. That's easy.
And the next one that I have for you is something that we've already had it on our Instagrams, where we mentioned Fernando here. And do you want to tell us about the story? Like, why did this happen? How did we get to this? We're showing this unicorn that you can see on one of our posts, guys, for going on Instagram.
First, I love unicorns.
Okay.
Yeah.
We know that. We know that.
I love unicorns. Unicorns is awesome. So this is a gift I made for my friend, because he have a small kid, like a small children, and he said, her birthday is it's next week, and I want to do something, you know, special for her. And I say, okay, what you like? And he, yeah. I think she like unicorns. Oh, she like unicorns. Okay, fair enough. And then in home, just with my, you know, sketchbook, I'm just drawing few things and looking at, you know, 3D models website like Coats3D and Thingiverse, and I found this model. You know, the I think that's the Despicable Me unicorn. And then I say, wow, that's a cool thing to do. And then I made that small diorama like a unicorn volley, and he gave it to the, you know, his sister and his daughter, and she loved it. She loved it, really.
Awesome.
And that's what I enjoy to do, that thing, really. I love to do like mini dioramas, and I really enjoy to do this, you know, kind of work.
Okay.
And also I give away most of them. I don't keep it.
Oh well, it's great that you're at least taking a picture. So we have an story here on your Instagram, because otherwise it would be a shame not to at least have a memory of the great things that you're doing. And I think it's one of the great things of any artistical project. It's like not necessarily all of them, but in your case you have a lot of them. We're gonna go to a few more of them. Is the stories that leads us to actually print that or just make that. It's like, oh, we came up with this, or me and my friends, or you want to give it someone's birthday gift. It's, I think, doing anything artistical for a reason, and then just telling the story, and then the whole journey through it. I think that's one of the things that probably allows us to create such great pieces like this one, for example.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest rewards I can have in this, you know, in my whole hobby is make people happy, make people, you know, feel happy. So, and when I give something like this to someone, and you can see on, you know, on their faces, you know, happy, you know, the happiness, and that's for me is the biggest reward I have. So that's why you know, people just came to me and say, oh yeah, wow, that's really amazing, Joy. Why you don't sell it? Right, I can sell it, but that's, you know, that not gonna give me that, you know, feeling. So basically, I you know, times and times I just take something, you know, just making one idea and give away. That's it. That's you know, just try to spread a little bit of my work to everyone.
And that is a really, really great thing to make you do some projects. We can now actually tell a few more stories in here, just whilst we are on it. And there is one that already has been catching my attention, and I do want to talk about it. Just going back here, and I do have to say, because we did share this yesterday, was this just a figure that you printed? Was there anything behind
No,
it?
that's an official model from
Okay.
the Warhammer. But one thing, you know, one curiosity about this miniature is that is the first miniature I ever painted in here. So that is like a starting kit from Warhammer, and that's the first miniature I ever painted. I bought like a kit with I think 3 of these miniatures and 4 bottles of paint and 1 starter brush. That's it, and that's the first miniature I ever painted in my life.
Damn, that's a really great finish, and just a great really result for a first one. So very well done.
I need to repaint.
No, it doesn't. I think it looks great, to be fair. So I mean, was this just any specific reason why I went for Gengar, or?
That's another giveaway. So that's from my friend Paul for his son. You know, he said, yeah, my you know, my son loved Pokemons, and oh yeah, what is his favorite Pokemon? Oh, Gengar. Okay, let's do it. That's a 3D printed Gengar. So basically I use a normal filament printer, print this Gengar, paint, just make a normal base and give away.
Awesome. And I got, yeah, I did see this one, and I actually was tempted to put this one instead of the knight. These must have taken you some time, because you have the skulls, you have those wraiths around.
Yeah, you know, this miniature actually took me like a week to finish everything. And I think I don't have a post with the finished miniature, but yeah, that is one of my biggest, you know, babies.
Just getting to, because now we're seeing one of Fernando's prints where we have like this sort of skeleton dog per se, skeleton horse, one of the two. You have to ask, like, how did you get the skulls painted and the ribs, and being able to not mix both? Like, did you paint one first and then one for the other?
Yeah, I paint all the skull, basically, all the bones and everything, and then with just really small brush, like number 1 brush, I painted all the details, all the skulls inside, and all the gold details and everything. So yeah, that I think I made a live painting this guy at some point, I think.
Oh, we can have a look. Did you post it on your YouTube?
No, I think I post on my Facebook only.
Ah.
Yeah, I made a live on my Facebook, but yeah, that took me quite a while to paint.
We will get your Facebook in a bit.
Mhm.
And next thing, and I believe that would be the last one for the models on your Instagram, is your Dragon Ball, because I think a lot of people are fans of Dragon Ball Z. I think this is great. The scales, everything, it must have taken quite a lot of time. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the story of this one?
Yeah, that's another giveaway. Yeah, but this giveaway goes to Brazil, for my friend in Brazil, and he said, yeah, I would love one, Dragon Ball miniature, la la la. So everything, so the dragon and the stand, the rocks and everything, it's a FDM printer, so the filament printer, normal printer, and the Goku, the actual Goku is resin printed, because you have an in resin printer you have more detail, and it's a nice finish. And yeah, I think that's the last thing I painted since, and took me quite a while to finish. Like, surprisingly, it took me like 5 days to finish everything, and it's already packed and going to Brazil.
That's definitely a
That's
great thing.
that's what I said to you. That's the 3D printing world. When you go inside the 3D printing, it's amazing, because you can print everything, and you have loads and loads of stuff, really good stuff, on free on websites, and for kids as well, for education. And you can this EasyThreed printer is a really good printer for starters. So you can start printing small things, because it's affordable printer. And when you have oh yeah, no, amazing, I just want a bigger printer, okay, go to another bigger printer. But that's the only thing about 3D printing, you always need more. That's a problem.
And I think, like, both 3D printing and Warhammer, because Warhammer is seen as a very, very expensive hobby, both things together, plus the paint.
That's because, to be honest, I don't buy a lot of Warhammer stuff, even because, like Miguel said, it's quite expensive hobby. But and also I have printers, so why I need to buy expensive stuff if I can print? So yeah, so I have, like I say, my pile of shame, it's huge. I have shelves and shelves in home of 3D printed models everywhere. I have, inside my shed, I have prints on the floor, prints on the roof, everywhere. So I just need, like I say, I promised to me, like, don't print anything else until I have something painted. But that's the problem with 3D printing. When you have a 3D printer in your home, you look at your printer and he's like crying for you. Please print, please print. And you, oh, okay, I'm gonna print something. It's something that's gonna happen when you have a print.
That was very true. I actually, when you first taught me about 3D printing, I got very excited and I wanted to start printing stuff for cosplay. I haven't gotten into that, but that's definitely something that's very attractive, and it's something that a lot of people do these days. Like, I've seen there's some really, really good Iron Man cosplays and things like that, and those types of cosplays are just much better printing on a 3D printer rather than going and making it yourself, because it's always hard to make it completely perfect.
Yeah, that's a huge market for props, cosplay props and everything else. So, and I think 3D printing is the future. 3D printing, you can do everything, take time. Yeah, take time. I think my longest print is 7 days. So basically it's just a torso for my Warlord printing for like 7 days straight. I just need to take care about the filament, just keep reloading the filament, but that's it. So 7 days printing.
Well, okay, that I think is a great thing. Is there anything else that you want to tell us? We aren't done yet. We're gonna move on to the next things, but on your social, on Instagram, do you have anything else that you want to tell us about? Any story that we might have missed?
If you want, if you have, like something that you want to print or anything, yeah, don't be shy. Just go, take one printer, buy one printer. You have really cheap printers like the EasyThreed printer. It's really cheap, affordable one. Buy one of these printers and print, because it's something that you can print anything. You can do anything. The possibilities are endless, and that's a really nice hobby. For me, it's a nice hobby.
Well, the important thing is that you like it, and you can totally show through your work, and it's more than amazing what you've already achieved and what you're still achieving. So, very, very well done for this. We are not done yet, so we are now gonna swift and change into the next topic. So here in Instagram, the next thing is we are gonna talk about 3D materials. Okay. So there is a few things. Once again, Fernando was the first person that did explain to me about materials. And when you get onto it, you think, oh, it's just you get a 3D printer and you get something like the spool thing that you see online or whatever. But there's actually a lot more than that. So. Yeah. The spotlight is yours. I'm gonna check now Instagram and we're gonna do, guys.
So 3D printing materials. So for filament printers, you use thermoplastic. So it's a filament with a plastic filament, like a plastic string that goes into a hot, nozzle, and then this hot nozzle just melt and print. So what is the difference between the filament materials? So you have plenty of types of materials, but the main ones, they are PLA, ABS, PTG. So PLA is the most common filament, the most cheap one and the most common. It's not a tough material, so if you want to build something that, like a handle or something, you need a high fill, so inside to make like something strong. But it's like affordable, and to print things like this, it's perfect. You have PTG and ABS. They have almost the same properties, but they are more stronger than PLA. So with these materials, you can print things like handles or things to hold something, like hooks and everything, because that these plastics, they can hold more strength. So you have more strength on the proper material. So yeah, that's I think the main 3 filament materials. For the resin, which is for the miniatures, so resin printer is completely different from filament printer. So the resin printer is, you have a VAT with you can fill with resin, which is a liquid, and on the bottom of the resin printers you have a UV light that cures each layer, and you have a build plate that goes inside the liquid, cures one layer, goes up, goes down, cures another layer, and this with this movement you just create your prints, which is something like this. What is the benefit of a resin printer? You have a high detail, high level of detail. And what is the cons? Resin it's a material that is not easy to handle. So you need a proper, gloves, a mask, for the fumes, and most of the resins you need IPA to clean. So it's a different process. It's not appropriate for kids, and it's something more professional. With the filament printer, which is it's plastic, melted plastic. The only thing you need to take, to care about it is don't touch the hot end, because the hot end normally is like 200 degrees.
Damn.
Yeah. So don't touch the hot end or you're gonna burn yourself. Otherwise, that's a completely safe printer. And yeah, I think to start, start with a filament printer, because that's I think the easiest way to go inside the 3D printing world. And then if you say, okay, I need to go to the next level is a resin printer or a bigger printer like me. Don't do that.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And I hope you guys understood this. We will then be able to see our streams later on. We will be dividing it into chunks and posting on Instagram throughout the next days. And then the recording will be on Facebook as well, so you'll be able to see, or on Fernando's Instagram and Refurbo's as well. YouTube, I meant is YouTube. And the next thing we're now going to see an advertisement for our EasyThreed printer for Instagram over there. If you guys want, you just head over into our Facebook and you can see the advertisement with us, or you just have to scroll down a little bit and you can find this advertisement right in there, and we will be posting it soon again as well. So we'll be seeing you guys in a little bit.
Toys or useful things with this printer. The detail is quite impressive for the printer, and it's really affordable one and safe. That's the most important thing. If you want to give to your children like a gift, it's a completely safe printer. So you can live in there, and it's 100% sure nothing gonna happen. So my review about this printer is, it's a good printer. You have a nice detail. It's a really good start printer, and it's affordable one. Okay. I highly recommend.
Now we can talk to the prices. We didn't actually say, this is a little bit of a surprise, but we do have vouchers for you guys, because the printer currently, destroy money on everyone. We are now currently selling this printer on refurbo.co.uk at £99.99. But we have a voucher for both Facebook and Instagram. So I will let Mr. Fernando announce the voucher here on them. So all you have to do is just right click onto this eye right on here, and I will post it on there. So this is the code. For those of you that want to have a £10 discount on our, are you showing up? Yeah? Okay. So all you have to do is show in here and put it on the checkout, the code, on our refurbo.co.uk, and then you will be able to get the £10 discount on your printer. But we also have one more, right, Fernando? We have the refurbished one.
Oh yeah, we have the refurbished printers.
Yes. So tell us a bit about the refurbished printer.
So the refurbished printers, they are the same as these printers, but the thing is, few ones have like smashed boxes or small scratches. That's it. The printer is new. The difference between the new printer and the refurbished printer is few boxes came with scratches or scratches on the printer. So we repack them and reselling.
Okay.
Everything is tested and approved.
You got the Fernando Martali's approval. You can't have anything better than that, guys. We have. I have to make a badge for him eventually. This one is priced at £69.99. The voucher unfortunately does not work on that one, but it is slightly cheaper, so you guys can buy it refurbished instead. It'll also work as well.
That's an amazing deal. Trust me.
You guys, you know it. You trust Fernando, and you'll make sure that you'll be on the right way. So now let's take us into our last section, which is, let's just have the fancy transition in here, showing up, and it is how to start 3D printing and painting as a hobby. So, do you want to tell us a little bit, if I want to start 3D printing, what should I buy, what materials, and so on?
Right. So, if you want to start on 3D printing, first, go to Refurbo website, buy this printer, this EasyThreed printer, and buy filament. So basically a PLA filament. Second, go to the websites, the proper website with this. Then you can find all the models. I recommend Thingiverse and Coats 3D. So Miguel gonna leave all the links on the description for this. And buy one EasyThreed printer, download your models, and start to print. That's easy, straightforward. Painting, that's a good part. That's a good point. I don't recommend you guys, when you start, just go into your hobby shop and buy the most expensive paints and the most expensive brush. Oh yeah, this is a Sable Hair Kolinsky that's gonna cost 30 pounds a brush. No, please don't do that. I'm still painting with my Miss Makeup thing brush. So anyway, you can buy just a cheap brush. You have these, general stores. You can buy a normal brush just to start. Don't need to be nothing fancy. Paints. You have Vallejo paints. It's not the most cheapest one. It's not the most expensive ones, but they're worth. They're worth, and you can use for a long time, because you use just one drop, and you need to mix with water as well. So, and that's it. And don't worry about, oh yeah, that's not perfect, that's not, oh yeah, that's horrible. No, oh yeah, Miguel say my model is horrible. No, don't worry about it. That is, that's your hobby. Just do what you want. Oh yeah, the color, it's not, it's not the same as the website. No, don't worry about it. Just do your color scheme. Just make your, something that you would like to do. So, and the most important, have fun. That's the thing. It's, when you're painting something, if you don't have fun painting, don't paint. Easy. But I'm 100% sure, you're gonna have a lot of fun if you start on the 3D printing and painting. And that's it.
He rests his case, but I have to I'll just give my small input on here. I think from an artistical point and starting any project or learning any new skill is very important. It's just as Fernando says, you don't have to buy the most expensive things, and you get very excited and you think they need all this high-end stuff, and if you're on YouTube and you see the reviews and it's like, oh, buy this, is the best thing for starters, and you're paying like 500 quid for something, and then like 2 days later you don't have time or something happens and you just can't work on that anymore, or I don't know, you just feel like doing something else. It's really important. It's like he was saying, you're using some cheaper products still after all this time. It's just, you want to draw, you don't buy a pencil that's like super expensive just so that. Just go and buy a pencil, and even give yourself like a small goal and say, okay, if I draw up until this point, then I'll buy something better. It's not, the products do help, the quality of the products do help, but at the beginning I believe it's the passion and just the effort and just the time that you apply onto things.
You don't need the ultimate stuff to paint. It's like me, I started my airbrushing, with a, I think, 24 pounds airbrush, and I still using that same airbrush today.
Yeah.
And if you take a look on YouTube and everywhere, oh yeah, airbrush reviews, they came with a Evolution airbrush that costs 250 quid. No, if you don't buy something that really expensive if you don't try something before, because sometimes you just buy a airbrush and I don't like airbrush, okay, throw away, and then you spend like 250 on airbrush for what? For nothing. So just keep slow, keep down, and just keep going up and up and up. When you're improving yourself. And the most important, don't worry about what people say. It's a learning curve. Like everything in your life, it's a learning curve. Just start, make things that you think is good for you.
That's a very, very great speech. Thank you so much, Fernando. I believe now that this will be the time for all the Instagrams, all the social medias, everything that we want to share. We'll be sharing later on both channels. We'll be linking that in the description, so don't worry about that, guys. I have to say, this is a great first show. I really loved it. I'm really thankful for having you as one of our first guests. So, how did you find it? Did you like it?
It's a pleasure to be in here. To be honest, I love it. It's I never thought that bring me to this point. When I start, I'm just doing this by hobby. So now I'm doing lives.
Woohoo! There you go.
That's good. But like I say, I started with I think 1 pound brush and 2-3 bottles of paint. That's it. So just make sure you're having fun. That's the most important. And if you need any support, we are here for this.
Yeah, you guys can contact Refurbo and then go straight to that. And that segues perfectly onto, or you can also, let me just find it right here, which is here, but we don't have him. Let me just go back. We'll just, this is all happening live, so it's always the fun part of all of this. It is gone, and it is gone for good. And I wanted to show Viking Forge social media. I cannot show the website, but it's fine. This is live. That's the great thing about it, guys. Here in Instagram, if you want to see the mistakes that I'm making, you can also go later on. It's always good to have a laugh. But regardless, I was going to say you have Viking Forge on here. He has Instagram and YouTube, and he also has a Facebook, which we will be sharing later on. And for me, that's all. Fernando, is there anything else that you'd like to say?
Let me see. Use the links on the description. Use the code to buy your printer and start. Also, you guys can, contact me, share your prints, show me what you're doing. I really want to see what you guys are doing. And if you have any ideas, anything you want to do, just contact me. I'm free. I'm free to help.
We might have in the future. This is our first time doing this, but maybe in the future we might have some extra shows where we'll see here Fernando is doing some of his great projects, and who knows, maybe we'll be back again to talk more about 3D printing.
Yeah, and also in the future probably gonna start some podcasts.
Yeah,
about 3D printing, about hobbies and all this.
that sounds very exciting.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Fernando, and I'm now going to say goodbye to everyone. And
Yeah.
anything else that?
Guys, just don't forget to like, subscribe and share.
Okay, so thank you very much from all of us. Facebook is gonna end first, but Instagram will end next. From Facebook, goodbye, guys. I'll see you later. And now we are going to, I know Instagram, I know you guys are still